Okay, what's up everybody? It's the J-Rex here. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing okay, as always. I'm trying to make the best of things. So I'm reading your guys' comments. Like, I'm hearing you guys out. Thank you for all the support as always, and I, I think, like, I think when you just, like, when you make YouTube videos, I don't think like you're actually like aware that people are watching your videos, cuz it's not like I can see everybody like watching the videos like in front of their computers and watching it and enjoying the content, you know. I don't think of it like that. So it's when people are say like, "Hey, you're not uploading videos. What's going on?" And I'm like, what? People are watching my videos? So it's like I guess you don't realize that your actions are making an impact on others and that your actions are affecting others. So I didn't realize people were watching my videos. I don't, maybe it's just because I'm just constantly surrounded by negativity. So to think like I might actually be having a positive effect on somebody's life, to think that I might actually be helping somebody, it's just, I guess it's hard for me to imagine because I'm just constantly surrounded by so much negativity in my everyday life. But, like I said, as long as I'm helping somebody out, I'm happy. As long as I help that one person out, and I'm happy. So I'm glad that my videos are helping you guys out in some kind of way. I'm glad that I'm able to be of some kind of help. So I will try to upload, videos. I will try to upload videos. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying the stuff. I'm glad it's helping. I will do what I can, to help you guys out in any way that I can. So let's go ahead. Yeah, that was a pretty long intro, and I know people. I think I've already justified myself enough, so I don't want to focus. I've already focused on that enough, but so I like long videos. I'm sure there's other people that like them as well. So here we go. I I think it took me a long time to come to grips with this. I think it took me a long time to finally accept this, but I think I really had to take a a long look at myself in the mirror, and I think it was just finally time to accept what I am, and that is I am a loner. I am, and I had to look back. I had to do a lot of just self reflection, a lot of thinking, and I just looking at everything that's happened to me in the past and what I've been through and how I've dealt with it, and I'm just like, yeah, dude, you're a loner. So I'm sure there's other loners out there that want to hear from another loner's point of view. So, they can just, like to share information and to just understand the situation. So I'll, try to explain my point of view, what I've been through, and any loners out there, they can see how it like, uh, correlates with them, and maybe they can gain a better understanding of their situation, what they have been through. But yeah, it all started in elementary school. Elementary school, I had a crap load of friends. I had a crap load of friends. I had a lot of friends. I was super sociable, and I was not a loner, and I just had so many friends it was ridiculous, and um, I got along with everybody, and it was, it was super awesome. And um, I don't want to toot my horn too much, but I was extremely sociable, and I got along with everybody, and I had friends. And I was not an outcast. I was not a loner in any way possible, imaginable. Um, I would always, play with everybody, and we would play tag or whatever, and hide and seek, or play video games. We would, there was always something to do, and I had no problem, I had no issues. The problems started to happen. The problems started to happen but interesting enough, I remember in elementary school there were like loners, there were misfits, there were people that did not fit in, and I remember those kids would be picked on, they would be made fun of, and I never really they they just, I guess, I don't know, they were just weird, I guess. And I don't know why. I always I never personally picked on anybody. But I remember other people would be mean to those kids, and I just kind of I always wondered why are you guys being mean to him? I mean, he's weird, yeah, but there's no reason to ostracize him or kick him out of or isolate him, it's but it is what it is. But I pretty much I got a taste of my own medicine. It ended up happening to me when I started to hit teenagerhood. I was going through puberty and all that, and I started noticing things I started noticing oh, I remember that's when I noticed I had to. That's when I started for the first time in my life. I was watching what I was saying. I was like, oh, I can't, oh, if I say this, I might come off as a weirdo. So, I want to stay away from that topic. Oh, I can talk about this. This is okay to talk about. This is not considered weird to talk about. So I would, when I was 12 or 13 years old, that's when for the first time ever, I started to realize that there were socially acceptable things and not socially acceptable things to say. And I remember it was exhausting. It was starting to exhaust me. I was starting to get exhausted being around people because there was things I wanted to talk about, but I couldn't talk about it because I felt like if I did, I would start to be seen as weird. And that was the first time I became aware. I was becoming aware to a point of how people would perceive me, and people were aware of how I am, and that was the first time ever I became aware of that. And then I was in middle school now. Middle school by this point, I'm trying hard to fit in. This is the first time I was struggling to fit in. I don't know. I just I don't know. I just felt like there was things, just the things I was saying. I felt like the things that I was saying was not registering with the people I was talking to. There was things I was talking about and they just did not understand, and they would get mad at me if I talked about this stuff. And that was the first time that ever happened to me. I was 13, 14 years old by this point. And I just remember I was really exhausted. I was just man, it is so hard to freaking fit in, and constantly trying to think of socially acceptable things to say, always trying to think of the right thing to say. And then if you say something wrong, people are just starting to judge you, and they're responding to you in ways that you do not expect. They're responding in anger, hostility, And I just, but I was still kind of like a half kid, half adult, so I was still trying to, I wanted it to be like how it was like when I was in elementary school, and you just got along with everybody and there was like no fighting. So I was trying to go back to that. I was trying to not say things that would piss people off. I was trying to say things that would not offend people. I was trying hard to get in line and fit in with everybody else and say what a normal person of that time would say. And it was getting tiring. It was, and it was exhausting, but I really wanted to fit in, so I just dealt with it. And then but I think by this point, I think people were starting to know that I was different, that I was not like everybody else, and I think at this point people knew that I stood out, and I think people were starting to recognize that. And at this point, that's when I started being left out of the group. I started being kicked out of the group. I started to be shunned, and there were instances where people would like to leave me. There would be instances where my supposed like friends would like leave me to go talk to other people, and I remember there would be times I would just be sitting by myself alone in a classroom full of people talking to everybody else except me. I would be by myself, being a loner in the corner, just sitting there playing with my fingers, and while everybody else is having a good time talking to each other. And that really hit me hard. That was the first time that I genuinely felt alone. And I was like 13, 14 by that point. So, by the time, dang, this is gonna be a long video. Sorry guys, hope it's okay with you. So by the time I got to high school, I was just basically like, screw this. I'm so tired of trying to fit in. It's so exhausting. It's so draining. I don't care anymore. I'm gonna say whatever I want to say. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. I'm gonna act however I wanted to act. And I was so freaking weird in high school. I would just be the weird guy, cracking weird jokes in class, and I would just be the guy just saying weird stuff and just random things and just doing weird things. Like I would just like randomly just dance in class or whatever, or I would just like talk about like weird things like polar bears being covered in mayonnaise or something. I would say some weird random stuff, and but it was weird. Like I was weird, but it was just like I don't know. It was weird. I was really weird, and I went all out in high school by that point. And so by this point, I was just fully like ostracized by the community. If I tried to sit and talk with people, if I tried to sit and talk with people, they would be like, "Go away, you're annoying." Just people would just be mean to me, and I met somebody that I thought would be a good friend, but yeah, I didn't have any friends in the beginning, so a lot of the time, so I was like scared of eating, so I was still kind of worried about what people thought of me, so I'm like, oh man, if people see me eating by myself in the cafeteria, they're gonna think I'm really, really weird, and they're gonna think something's wrong with me. So I would go to the bathroom and I remember I would literally go to the bathroom, sit on the toilet, and eat on top of a crapper. Like I was so scared of like being out in the cafeteria eating by myself, and that I would like just sit on the toilet in the bathroom and eat on the toilet because it was the only place where people would not know that I was alone. And then I finally met somebody that I thought was going to be a good friend. You know, he liked video games. We would always talk about video games and stuff, and it seemed like we were getting along. But I don't know what happened. Like somewhere down the line, he became really mean to me. Like it's so disturbing when I think about it. He was super nice in the beginning, and then his personality did a complete 180 when we became friends. He would just get angry over like small things. He would get angry if I'm like trying to talk to him, and he's like ignoring me. And so I grab his arm. I'm like, dude, I'm talking to you. And then he would just flip out and be like, and start yelling at me and getting angry at me and shouting at me and cussing me out because I grabbed his arm because he's ignoring me. I'm trying to talk to him, and he would he would like leave me. Like we would eat together in the cafeteria, and I don't know, like something happened. He just would start leaving me to go eat with other people. And he would leave me to go eat with other people, and I remember for a long time I was back to just eating by myself again. I would be in a cafeteria full of people, everybody talking to each other, having a good time, and I would be the one and only loner sitting by myself in the cafeteria eating by myself. And I'm sitting there eating by myself, and I'm thinking, where did my supposed friend go? I thought he had my back. He left me to go eat with other people. So, and I he would do other mean stuff to me too. He would like invite me to go to places with him, and then when I would go there to hang out with him, he and his other friend, whatever, they would talk to each other and I guess come up with a plan to like go against me. Like I would hang out with them, supposedly try to hang out with them when they asked me to go hang out with them, and then I would meet them up at the mall or something, and then they like spend the whole time like running away from me. And whenever I'm like, what are you guys doing? I thought we were gonna hang out. And I would try to go to them, and they'd be like, oh, he's coming, let's go, run. And then they start running away from me. I'm like, why are you guys doing this to me? So by that point, that was the final nail in the coffin. I was basically just done with people. My whole life I've just been, well, my whole teenager life I've just been constantly been treated like crap, and then people telling me to go away, I'm annoying, or you think they are your friend, and then they leave you, they abandon you to go hang out with other people, and then and then inviting you and ditching you. So I got fed up with it by this point. I'm like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore, and I'm just gonna sit by myself, and I'm gonna be alone. And I don't know. It's like, so I fully accepted it. Well, kind of. I accepted it, but I don't think I was fully aware of what was going on. So I would sit by myself every day, eat at the cafeteria by myself, and you know, I didn't really talk to anybody. I just kept to myself. I would just study by myself and I would just sit by myself at the table, just doing my classwork while everybody else was talking to each other, having a good time. And I would just always just sit by myself and just do homework or do classwork or sleep, take a nap on my desk. And then, interesting enough, people like people would like start pointing it out to me. They're like, why are you so quiet, James? Or why are you so quiet? Why don't you talk to anybody anymore? Why do you always sit by yourself? Why don't you talk to anyone, and in I don't know. I mean, I didn't really know why I was doing it. I was like, I guess I subconsciously accepted it, but I didn't really know yet what I was doing. But I was just like, I don't know. I just want to be by myself, I guess. So, um, yeah. But so, um, so yeah, that's basically how my high school life was. I did eventually find another friend. I did eventually find another friend in high school, and to this day we're still friends. So I did find one eventually, a good friend eventually, but do I really want to say a good friend? I would honestly have to say a decent friend, because he's done a lot of crappy stuff too. I finally found a somewhat decent friend towards the end of high school, but yeah, I mean, I only had one friend in high school, and he was he was a I was genuinely happy. It was just me and him, always just hanging out and doing stuff, and um, I was just very happy just having one friend in my life, and I didn't need like a group of friends. I didn't need to be like popular. I didn't need to have like 20, 30 friends to hang out with, to go to parties and stuff. I didn't need all of that. I just had that one solid friend who I could play video games with, and I was very happy. So that was pretty towards the end of high school. The end of high school was I enjoyed high school the last my junior senior year. Um, but yeah, so I thought that's how things would. I thought I was like, oh, that was just like high school. That's just high school, like it'll get better. Like, when I actually start going to work and I get a job and I actually go into the adult world, it'll get better. Yeah, so I go into the adult world and I get a job, and it just come to find out people are still the same. It's like, like, wow, I met some very cruel people when I got my first job, and they were just very mean to me, and they would just be like, oh, I don't like him. Oh God, I want to kick his ass. Like, people just say really mean things to me, and people just give me like these dirty looks. They would give me these dirty looks, and just like, oh, go away, we don't like you. And I don't know what I did to piss these people off. So I go into the adult world thinking people are grown up and people have matured and become more intelligent, and then I freaking go into the workforce and I find out people are no different. These people that are picking on me and saying mean and hurtful things to me, these people are no different than the people in middle school. Like, these are the same people that picked on me and were mean to me in middle school. I'm like, things did not change. And so, you know, I was just like, wow, people are still freaking douchebags. I'll, and then I would just like, golly, people were so mean. I look back on it, I'm surprised. And then I would try to hang out with people. I'd be like, oh, you want to hang out? And they're like, oh, I don't want to hang out. I don't want to hang out with you. And I'm just like, what the heck, dude? And and then yeah, people were just yeah, just like, I don't know, yeah, just people would just shun me. So from the group, I guess. So um uh but then again, like I said, I would there would always be that one decent person. So when everybody was being mean to me, cruel to me, saying mean things to me, treating me like crap, and shunning me from the group, there would always be that one other person like who was like a loner, and we would both get along and hang out and have good times. There would always be that one person that stood out from the rest, and they were super nice and super like good people, and I would become good friends with them, and we would hang out and have such great times together. There would always be that one person who I could talk to and open up and be honest with, and they would not judge me or be mean to me or like, oh, something's wrong with that guy. But so yeah, that I had another good solid friend in at my job. Everybody else was being mean to me. I had that one solid friend. And but yeah, so I think I said enough. See, I'm wondering if I should redo this video, because I want to find a way to consolidate all this information, but maybe I'll just leave it as it. Maybe there's a way. Maybe there's a way to make it more concise. I'll do another take maybe after this one. But yeah, so I don't know. But then I ended up moving. So I mean, every time I find a good friend, either I move or they move, and then like I end up losing that awesome friend. So, but yeah, so it's pretty much a constant cycle of just like going through all this. So I think it really hurt me how people treated me. So when when I moved to a new location and got a job somewhere else, I shut myself down again. I wasn't talking to anybody. I was quiet. I would always like sit by myself at the table, and I would not talk to anybody, and I would just quietly do my work, and I would not really communicate with anybody. And then people always do that. People always do that, and then they'll be like, "Why aren't you talking? Why are you so quiet? Why aren't you like talking to any of us?" And it keeps over like like these people don't make any sense. It's like when you talk and open up, people will judge you and ostracize you, like, oh, this guy is weird, something is wrong about him, and like, and then they would judge me and ostracize me. And then when I would shut myself down and just not like, you guys think I'm so weird, you guys think I'm so bad because I talk about weird things and I act weird and I do weird things. You guys think I'm so weird, and then you all ostracize me from the group and shun me from the group, and then I open myself up, and then everybody wants to go back to being mean to me again, being mean to me, picking on me, saying mean and hurtful things. So I just don't understand people, it's like they want you to talk, and then you talk and they're like, ugh, you're weird, ew, go away. So it's like, and then I go back to shutting myself. See, and that's another thing. The people that were mean to me, I stopped talking, like, because like you get to a point where you just fed up with them. You don't want to talk to them. Like all of my toxic friends, I'm just like, I don't want to talk to them anymore. So a lot of the people that were mean to me and like they did cruel things to me, like abandoning me back when I was in the cafeteria, back when I was most vulnerable, sitting by myself, and then just like ditching me, like we're supposed to be hanging out, and then they ditch me, and then all these times that they ditched me, left me hanging. Oh, are we gonna hang out? Yeah, sure, we'll hang out. And then that time comes, and I'm just left there sitting and waiting. I'm like, where did they go? I thought we were gonna hang out, and I'm all dressed up, ready to go, and they don't return my phone calls or anything. Yeah, sure, we'll hang out. And freaking just left me alone. All the times these people were mean to me, and they left me hanging when I needed them the most. They want to try to come back into my life. So all these people that were mean to me because I was weird or whatever, because I was different, and they were so mean and cruel to me, and they did all these horrible things to me, leaving me alone when I left them needed them the most, and flaking out on me, like, and then they want to come back and to try to come back into my life, like, hey man, how you been, man? You know, and then let's hang out, man. Oh, I miss all the good times we had, man. I miss all the things that we did, man. And I'm just looking at these people. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. So it's like these toxic people that hurt me and try to come back into my life and try to be all buddy old pal with me after all the horrible things I did. I'm like, who the fuck are you? I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like, get away from me, dude. I don't want anything to do with you. You never even apologized for all the horrible things that you've done to me. You've done so many horrible things to me. You've said so many horrible things to me. And then you want to try to come back into my life and act like everything is honky-dory. So, you leave me to go hang out with your new group of friends. And then those new group of friends leave you. Because everybody's an arsehole. So they left you because they're arseholes. You left me because you're an arsehole. Now you want to, because they left you, oh, now you don't have anybody to fall back on. Because your supposed new friends ditched you and left you. So now I'm like your backup friend, I guess. And now you want to go back to me because you don't have anybody else. And they want to come back to me, hey, buddy, old pal, how you been, man? I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. And I don't cuss that much, sorry guys, but to all these fake sons of bitches that left me and abandoned me, and then when their new friends left and abandoned them, now they want to try to come back to me. Fuck you. If the guy ever watching this video sees this, if he ever sees this, if he ever comes across, you know I'm talking about you. Everything I said correlates to you. You know. Fuck you, dude. So, yeah, so a lot of these people, they want to try to come back in your life after they abandoned you. Just so, it's so fake of epic proportions. So, oh my god, this video's 30 minutes. I think I have to end it soon. So, basically, in a nutshell, to wrap everything up, I just genuinely, I don't like being around people, because it's not because I'm like some, like, I'm not like, it's not because I'm just like some loner. Well, I am a loner, but I'm not like that kind of loner that just is a loner just because they are. There's a reason why I became a loner, because I've had so many like horrible things happen to me. just human beings, I'm sorry, human beings are just kind of just they're unpleasant. I don't enjoy being around people because people are very mean, they're very cruel, they do mean things, they say mean things, and they're highly judgmental. And then they want to act like they're your buddy and everything, and then when you try to be their buddy, when you try, like, oh, this person might be different, maybe this person might be a good friend, and then you try to open up to them, and then lo and behold, you find out they're just like everybody else, and then they judge you, and they ostracize you, and you find out they're no different from anybody else. It just gets exhausting after a while, you know? It's like it just like, you know, people will like try to talk to me, and I'm just kind of like, I'm like I'm sorry, like I'm just sorry, like I'm sorry, but just go away, you know, don't talk to me. I don't want anything to do with anyone, and it's like I'm just here to get the job done and pay these stupid bills because we're still in capitalism, and it's like I don't want to be like this, but I'd rather just be alone than have to put up with all that bullcrap. It's like I'm gonna open up to these people, and I'm gonna talk. I talk about weird things. You guys know I talk about weird. I talk about the Venus Project. I talk about the problems with capitalism. I talk about aliens and conspiracy theories and the problems of with our society today. I talk about a lot of weird things that people don't usually talk about, and I start to open up to people, and I start to talk about this stuff, and they're like, "Oh, something's wrong with this guy." It's like, "Oh, this guy is weird. Something's wrong with this guy. Oh, this guy is cuckoo. Oh God." And then the same thing happens again. They start to ostracize me. They start to shun me. They kick me out of the group. They start to make fun of me and bully me, and it's like the whole thing repeats all over again, and I'm just so tired of it, so it's like I'm tired of always finding, but they'll complain to me all day about their shitty life. "Oh, I have my shitty wife like cheated on me or something," or "Oh, I got so many bills." They'll complain about their life all day, and I'll humor them with their conversations, because that's what a genuinely caring friend does. They listen to their friends, and then they talk with them about what's bothering them, what they're thinking about. That's what a friend does. So I'll be a good friend, and I'll talk to them about the stuff that they want to talk about. But the moment that I talk about the stuff I want to talk about, "Oh, this guy is weird. Something is wrong with him. He's crazy. They give me weird looks. They judge me. They look at me dirty." Like they give you, when somebody, they give you that judge look, the judgmental look, like they look at you like, "Oh, something's wrong with this guy." Like, I'm just tired of all that stuff, okay? I'm tired of all that crap, and then I just don't want to talk to people anymore, okay? They're just not pleasant to be around, okay? And then they do so many mean things to you, and you just don't want that anymore. And I don't know if these people realize how toxic they're being, how nasty they're being, how mean they're being. I don't know if they're even aware of how much of an arsehole they're being. But they might not even be aware of it, because they want to come up to me, several years later, and act like everything's honky-dory, like, "Hey, what's up, man? Want to hang out?" No, I don't want to hang out. No. So they might not even be aware of what they're doing. So it's okay. Everybody, if you're a loner, it's totally okay to be a loner, because sometimes it's just better to be a loner than to put up with that toxicity. Like, it is just so bad right now. Like, everybody is just screwing each other over left and right. Everybody's just being mean to each other. Everybody's just abandoning each other. Everybody's just leaving each other hanging. There's just no loyalty. Nobody's looking out for each other. It's basically, like I said, it's every man, woman for himself, herself, and it's such a horrible state of mind to be in. And just people are just trying to find ways to bully each other. It's like everybody wants to try to fit in and act normal. I don't know how true that is. And then somebody is courageous enough to be themselves, to be different, and then everybody wants to pick on that person who's trying to be different, trying to be themselves. Somebody that's just that one person that stands out that's weird. Let's all pick on him or her. It's so bad, like how people are being right now, and just people are just not pleasant to be around. So it's okay to be a loner, but if you're sitting by yourself at the cafeteria eating, it's okay. If you are at work by yourself, doing your work, taking care of what needs to be done, and everybody else is just off talking to each other and stuff, it's okay. It's okay to be alone. I think still, personally, as long as you have that one true friend that has your back and is going to be there for you no matter what, that's all you need. All the happiest times in my life where I was super happy, super content, those were the times where I just had like that one and only like true friend that I knew had my back no matter what. As long as you have that one true friend that has your back no matter what, you're good. That's all you need to be happy. You don't need to have this big circle group of friends. You don't need to be Mr. or Mrs. Popular. You know, you don't need to be part of the cool crowd or whatever. You don't need all of that to be happy. I think you just need one person in your life who genuinely loves you and cares about you, and that's all you need to be happy. Don't put up with this headache right now. It's such a headache right now. Everybody is just so lost in the sauce, being mean to each other, hurting each other, saying mean things to each other, bullying each other, punishing each other, attacking each other, starting up all of this drama or whatever, just fighting over petty, dumb, ridiculous things that don't even matter, picking, bullying innocent people, hurting innocent people just because they're weird or they stand out. The whole thing is just ridiculous. Just don't be a part of that mess. Don't be a part of that drama. Do what you gotta do what needs to be done, and take care of yourself and take care of the ones that you love, okay? And, you know, take care of your mother, take care of your father, take care of your sister, your brother. Take care of that true friend that's always been there for you, you know? Like, whatever. You got to take care of your kids, whatever you got to do. Don't waste your time on all this bull crap, okay? Like, these people are lost in the sauce. Don't waste your time with that, okay? Now, you can try to show them in the right way, like, hey, what you're doing is wrong, it needs to stop. You can try to show them the right way, you know, guide them in the right direction, but I would not count on these people changing anytime soon. Point them in the right direction, tell them what needs to be done, and go about your own way, and do what you got to do, alright? And, you know, if you got to be alone to do that, I mean, so be it. It's just the world that we live in, you know? So, I think I've said everything I needed to say. Oh my god, I talked. This is probably one of my longest videos ever. Thank you everybody for talking, and I'm going to try to see if I can make a shorter version of this. Thank you everybody for watching. Peace.